Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the rant of the day coming to you live from Berkeley, California. Not really sure what I'm going to talk about today, but I know as soon as I start recording it just comes through. I know I want to touch on the subject of what is really happening in the world. What is really going down here? You know, I see a lot of people caught up in their sickness, caught up in their life, in their job, in their story. And it's important to remember who we are and what's really going on in this world. Here's what I believe is happening. We are unbelievably powerful cosmic beings. I believe, and there's a lot of Christian followers who are going to disagree with me on this one, but I believe that we are all little mini gods, okay? Potential mini gods. We're not actually activated right now, but we are potential on our way to becoming all little mini gods, manifesting our life the same way the divine manifests, the same way the creative force, creator, is able to manifest. I believe we're all little fractured pieces of this divine force. And the reason that's important is because we have forgotten how powerful we are. We have forgotten how wise and how connected we are, both to our bodies, to our intuition, to spirit. And this is cause for much illness. Now, here's the thing. Here's where people, I believe, get it twisted. The truth is that we are in such toxic times that people cannot even receive this truth. They can't actually feel it and permeate this truth. Conscious divine force is always trying to heal humanity, but we're actually so toxic, I believe, that we can't even receive these signals. We cannot even vibrate at that frequency or hold that force in our bodies. We're tuned into something completely different. And what we're tuned into is the lower vibrational energies. See, as long as we're worried about bills, worried about money, worried about appearance and looks and what other people think of us, as long as we're constantly fearful and worried and living in this lower chakra energy, then we, and fighting for survival, might I add, then we can never actually feel that high vibrational consciousness, the love, the purity, the connection, the joy. And there is a grand agenda on this planet to keeping us in the low vibrational energies. Now, how that grand agenda works, that is up in the air. I've watched a lot of conspiracy videos, a lot of videos on this subject, and I'm not even going to begin to fully understand it, but there are definitely forces involved that are loving to feed on the energy of humanity. See, we have spiritual energy, and every human being has a level of spiritual energy, okay? And it's on a spectrum. Some people are born with a massive amount, some people cultivate a massive amount. It's a combination of cultivation and what you're born with. And this spiritual energy, see, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So where is this energy going? To an average Joe Schmo who's eating donuts and drinking coffee and working in a cubicle all day, commuting to work, hating his life, and then coming home drinking beers. Where does that Joey six-pack, where is his spiritual energy going? Does he not have a spirit? Of course not. Oh, of course he does. But, so do you see how that energy is actually being mined? The same way that you mine for uranium, plutonium, and elements in the earth. We are made up of the earth, as, what's his name? John, I forget his name, beautiful man. John, he passed away. He's a Native American. He talks about we are made up of the earth. We are the minerals, the elements of the earth. The dirt, the clay, the elements, the rocks. We're made up of all of that. And the same way that people mine for uranium, there are forces that are actually mining that energy. How exactly it works, I really don't know. It's a combination of human forces and spiritual forces, and the physical energy of that human being and the spiritual energy of that human being. I mean, just think about it. All of his energy is going into a company or a corporation, and so his whole life is just about feeding something else, right? So anyhow, the point here is that we have to recognize how powerful we are. We have to understand what we are at our core. Now, this is where detox comes in handy, because I could be saying these truths, you can even know these truths, but if you cannot connect to these frequencies, it doesn't even matter if you know the truth. So detox comes in to be able to clean the vessel to actually receive this frequency of consciousness, which is what happened to me. I could not receive it. I simply knew these things to be true, but I could not receive this consciousness. I was too toxic with Mercury. So anyhow, what's really happening in the world? Well, if you watch The Matrix, if you watch Avatar, these types of movies are documentaries. They are not movies. The Matrix is a documentary. And I feel like I am so far removed. See, this is a huge problem I'm dealing with right now. I am so far removed from where I once was that I don't even know. I'm losing the ability to completely connect with an audience member who's in that state, who's plugged into the Matrix, who's working in a cubicle, who's suicidally depressed. It's like and I don't want to lose this ability. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm still able to connect with you guys. But I feel like I'm losing the ability to reach down into someone's heart and say, you're gonna fucking be okay. Because it's like I'm losing the ability to connect to that frequency of pain and suffering, because my life is fucking awesome now. Now, that's not to say I don't experience somber moods, I don't experience pain, but having a couple hours or a day of pain is nothing in comparison to living and having a portal open to depression and anxiety. Those portals are closed. And anyhow, just a rambling, not really any point to that, but yeah, so you know, I just want to say that we have to remember that we are a divine being, and that we are manifesting our life day by day. And yeah, and again, those movies, Avatar, The Matrix. So what I was getting at before is that if you're, you know, sucked into a life of fear, you're plugged into something that is so unnatural, so against what your soul wants. And it's of course you're going to have health issues if you're plugged into something that is conditioned, indoctrinated into you. So little by little, the trick is to sever bullshit relationships, to start being more authentic with the way you speak to people, more authentic with your truth and how you feel about things, to start detoxing the body and cleaning the vessel in order to better connect to your soul, better connect to the higher frequencies, emotional detoxification. And then you can start living your life in accordance to all of these new truths. And that would mean quitting shitty jobs, searching for something bigger and better and more in line with your truth. And this is the effort to escape the matrix, basically. This is the goal of escaping the matrix. It's not so, it doesn't have as many flashy colors as the movie does and slow motion scenes, but indeed, they are documentaries. Avatar, Matrix, etc. All right, that's enough for today. Catch you on the other side. Peace.